Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're all doing good and well. Now, before I crack on with my Wheel of Time TV series episode 6 discussion, I just wanted to mention I am planning on doing my top 20 albums of the year video this weekend. I've compiled a list of my top 20 albums. All that's left is to record, edit and upload that video, so fear not, that video will be up very soon. Now, back to my discussion about the Wheel of Time TV series and episode 6, which was called The Flame of Valon. Now, this really honed in on the Aes Sedai politics in the Hall of the Tower. In particular, kind of reveals the cracks that there are in relationships, perhaps most notably between the Reds, the Red Aja, if you like, and the Blue Aja. We also see a lot about Moiraine and her relationship with different people, I guess, in the Tower as well. In particular, her relationship actually with Siuan Sanche, the Amelin Seat herself, and that it's quite cleverly concealed from us, actually, how close Moiraine is to Siuan until slightly later on in the episode, and I quite liked how they did that. What we begin the episode actually with Logain Ablar with his punishment, his trial, where he is, where the Amelin Seat rules that he is going to be sent away and imprisoned, I think, and that for him is a fate worse than death, because he's just going to be left to basically go mad with his power, go insane with his powers. Enjoyed this whole scene actually, and also the way it then moved to her, kind of the Amelin Seat having to punish Liandrin and then Moiraine, and obviously we learn it's all kind of a little bit of a stunt that Moiraine puts on as a bit of a show in front of all the other Aes Sedai to basically conceal what she really knows, and also to conceal her close relationship, I think, with Siuan, and they are both really sharing quite a lot of information which they wouldn't dare share with other Aes Sedai in the Tower, because of the implications and how much it would jeopardise other characters, the Emond's Field 5 in particular. So I really liked this. This is obviously, again, as has been the case with much of this series so far, quite big deviations from the books. If anything, I was trying to think, are there any chapters in the books which you can kind of compare a bit to what happens in this episode? I would give I would mention chapter 4, I think it is, from The Great Hunt, the summoning. There are scenes there where for the first time we see Moiraine and Siuan Sanche together, kind of meeting in the Tower, and actually in Faldara, I think it is, rather than the Tower, forgive me. But that is where we see them meeting for the first time and showing their relationship, and it being revealed to us some of the very difficult political situations that they have in the White Tower. We also see an incredibly staged scene, I think, where Moiraine has to draw out the dark power that is inside Mat, and this for me, not just a highlight of the episode, I think this was a highlight of the whole series so far. Really incredibly well done scene, as always. I think with a lot of this series so far, it's been very well acted, and I thought this was a particularly good one. Particularly likes the way that the black stuff was drawn out from Mat, and then that it gathered around Moiraine's mouth as the kind of way that she was, obviously having to absorb it all herself. Really kind of, great scene, and definitely one of my favourites from this series so far, I have to say. Props to all involved with that one. That was great. But if anything, actually, I still feel, as I have kind of mentioned in some of my other episode reviews, that they could have worked up more of Mat's story here a bit, and what happens to him in Shadar Logoth, and they could have led to this and made this scene perhaps even more powerful than it was. As good as the scene was, and I've just said how terrific I thought it was, but it could have actually, really, they could have built up to it a bit better, and perhaps it could have been even more impactful for the viewers and the people new to Wheel of Time. Just how, for me, it's a really important part of Mat's story in particular, so I might have had a bit more leading up to that personally. But yeah, we don't see so much of Egwene and Perrin in this episode. We see, some more of Rand as well, because he's with Mat. Obviously, as that aforementioned scene with the with Moiraine sort of drawing out the horrible dark power from Matt. So yeah, I thought, that scene actually that I was talking about mirrors chapter 41 of Eye of the Worlds well, if you're interested in that. But a slight difference there was that Nynaeve was also involved, I think, when that was happening. So there's a bit of mirroring here of the books actually with I think with that scene and what happens there and how that unfolds. And Lan is also, I think, involved in the book as he is in the TV episode. I was also delighted, having in my previous episode mentioned how I was very worried they would leave out a lot of the rest of the Eye of the Worlds, like the ways, Fal Dara and the Eye of the Worlds, but it seems like we're still going to get those things. Having now it now having been revealed to me what the titles of episode 7 and episode 8 are. In fact, episode 7 is called The Dark Along the Ways, and of course at the end of this episode we see the Waygates and we see them all except Matt. Matt is left behind. The rest of them all travel and go into the Ways. Again, another deviation from the books, because I'm pretty sure Matt isn't left behind when they go into the Ways in the books. So that is another interesting deviation. Anyway, to sum up, another really good episode, some more fantastic characterization. As I've said in previous episodes, I think the kind of concern is just how much and how bold this has been actually in deviating from the books, whether the story can still be held together with those deviations from the books. It's kind of flip-flopped for me a bit of a few things which happen in the Great Hunt with things that also happen in the Eye of the World, and bringing in one or two events from the Great Hunt and slotting them in before some of the last events of the Eye of the World. So it's been an interesting viewing so far from my point of view, but I'm really looking forward to the last two episodes. Feel free, guys, to drop in the comments what you thought of this latest episode of The Wheel of Time. How is the series meeting your expectations? Is it exceeding your expectations, meeting them, or is it actually lower than your expectations and not meeting them at all? Anyway, everybody, thanks as always for watching this video. Do hit like and subscribe if you like the Wheel of Time and do coverage on the Wheel of Time. But this is also sci-fi and horror coverage on this channel, and a lot of music stuff too. So anyway, take care, everybody. For me, it's bye for now.